why. Hello. Welcome. I see you're already here, Kutu. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Only one more day until Friday, and then the weekend is starting. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday so far. You're the first person I think ever that joined before I did my intro. Oh. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Yeah. So today we have two topics, as you can see right there. As always, or basically as always, we're gonna begin with the good old quiz sketch. Working on, just a quick quiz sketch to warm up, and then afterwards we're gonna go to today's topic, which will be continue to working on Caitlyn. We wanted to turn Caitlyn from the Arcane series into a realistic, realistic recreation, into a realistic human. We're gonna continue working on that. Yesterday we worked on the hair. The hair is pretty far. It's not fully done. I'm gonna work on it just a little bit more to finish it. And then, yeah, some clothing too. But that's not gonna be the goal for today. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on the shading. Yesterday, as we finished the hair, we looked at her, and it was pretty simple to see what the hair looks like because she currently is completely 100% white. So we need a shader for her. We can grab one from Vi that we did last week. And we can start off with a base, skin shader, and then we can customize it with some makeup, with some, some characteristics, let's say. And that's going to be today's goal, optimizing the skin shader. And then, maybe we have some more time because it might not take too long. We might be able to go back to one of the older topics, or one of the topics that we've already covered, like the clothing, or maybe the hair. I think we're going to go to the clothing. I think that's more less monotonous, let's say. Hair can be quite, I don't know what you would call that, it's quite, let's say monotonous. It's pretty monotonous, so I think clothing is a little bit more interesting because you see some change there. Hair is a little bit, harder to see. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let's go straight to Blender so you can see what we're going to work on for today's quiz sketch. You can see it right there. That is Fenrir. I guess you could say its name. It's from the artist Saturn Fiddler. We quickly pull up the website. Oh no, ArtStation, their ArtStation profile. There you go. I think I already had one of theirs as a quick sketch. So we're gonna do another one today. This one is from, I guess, his Creationary series 2020, I think. So if you go down here at some point, you'll find what we're gonna do today, which is this one. I thought this one looks cool. It's not just like a normal wolf, but it actually has like horns and looks a little bit more, I guess you could say, it has an expression that I have never done before, I think. And then also like these horns, I think it makes a cool look. So we're gonna do that today. Yeah, so let's get back to Blender. We started 15 minutes later, so let's keep this intro short. Get straight into the first topic, the quick sketch. I would say we can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. There you go. Yesterday I noticed, from all the monotony, I didn't notice that I still had my countdown on the screen for probably like the next hour. And I don't know why, but for some reason, sometimes the countdown just restarts. So I had like, the countdown going down, but it's already like way past the quick sketch. I don't really know how that happens, but yeah, I don't know, but I'll just chop it up to magic, I guess. But it's yeah, sometimes I just forget it because it's, I can really only see it in my I guess preview window or my streaming window, if I don't have it open, which I usually don't. And then just sitting there giving you the dread of lost time or time running out, even though there's nothing to run out. I'll try to pay more attention to that. Or, I sometimes watch what is it? Well, not his streams, but his YouTube content, Dark Viper AU, doing GTA, or he is a GTA, you could say, content creator and also speedrunner. And what he does is he doesn't really speedrun. He focuses on challenge runs, you could say. The one that he just recently finished is the no deaths run. So basically from any, one hit KO run. Basically trying to, beat the game without ever getting hit. And he, even though he, for some challenges he might not need the time, he still lets it play, even, as if it's like a speed run, I guess, just to see how long it actually takes in the end. That could actually be pretty fun, or pretty interesting, if we would add that for the, like just a timer that kind of tracks how long we can work on a certain project. That could be pretty cool. Although, I don't know if that's like that interesting. Maybe it might be more confusing than, helpful. But, maybe we can try it at some point. But yeah, he always lets it play, even though there's nothing, like no time to track, or except for maybe how long it takes to do whatever challenge. That kind of reminded me of that. And then there was always like somebody asking like, hey, why is there like speedrun timer? You're already at like hour, I don't know, like 69. And he's always like, well, yeah, no, I'll just let it run while we do this challenge. And then you're sitting there like doing some sort of challenge, or the audience can vote for certain, oh, hold on, I need to change the playlist, where the audience can basically vote for certain mods to activate, which sort of hinder him. He tries to basically finish the game, and meanwhile his audience, or the chat, basically tries to people in chat basically try to sabotage him by adding, like, adding some weird effects that sort of prevent him from beating the mission. And he always has like the timer somewhere to see at the end, oh, how long did it actually take? And it seems like the more he does these challenges, the longer it takes to finish them. There was actually a plugin that did that for Blender. When I started using Blender, I was actually I always wanted to see how long I was working on a certain project. And there was like this very small plugin that existed, that doesn't exist anymore as far as I know, that basically told you, hey, it was basically just a timer that I think ran down here somewhere, and it told you how long you've been working on a file. So every time you start the file, it would start, and every time you would end, or you would close the file, it would pause. And this way you can very easily see like how long you've been working on a project. I think that's such a simple thing, but I've never really ever seen it afterwards. I would immediately get it if I know that there's like an alternative for it, or like a new version. Just because I like to know how long I've been working on something. I haven't checked for a while, but the last time I checked, yeah, first of all, it didn't work on new versions, and then I didn't find anything new. There's probably something. Maybe I'll need to check it out at some point again, just to see. Today is going to be probably the sort of day to tie everything together. Of course, we're not going to animate her today, but at least we can basically finish the look. We still need to add, well, I still need to add, because I'm going to do it off stream. I still need to add the clothing. I need to finish the clothing. So if we have some more time after the skin, we can go into that. The skin is pretty simple because the skin settings are basically set. I want to do one more change, which now exists in Blender 3.0, to optimize the skin shader even more, and then we can we can add like custom textures for the makeup, but that's not really that complex. And then we basically have the skin shader. We do some color correction, and then there you go. So the next step would then be to just kind of finish all the rest of the stuff, like the clothing and optimizing the hair, for example, or mostly just the eyelashes. And then we have the model, which we then can animate. Then I'm going to pose the character, and at the end I'll render it. Oh, add some lighting of course too, and then I'm going to render it. So it's not too much anymore, It's more so optimization rather than like modeling more, except for the clothing. The clothing is the only thing that's really like, it's still big parts missing, but once that's done, it's basically only really, I guess, optimization, like smaller things. Of course, small things can also add up to big things or to a lot of time, but yeah, you know, it is how it is. Yesterday I talked about I have like this goal to optimize everything that I do right now because I kind of miss some time in my life. Well, no, well, I see some some potential to speed up some processes. So what I did today is I made myself a bat file, basically a batch file for Windows that can open up all the programs that I use to stream. I have like 5 or so that I open, and you can basically just write in that file. It's basically just like a text file that you then save as like something like filename.bat, and then you can write in like, you know, start this program, and then it opens them all, and then, you know, you're good to go. So that's one thing that I can speed up, you know. That would probably save me a few minutes. Which is, you know, if you do that for more than just that one process, or even just that one process, you know, over time it adds up. And even just finding all the files sometimes can take a while. So that's first, like, I plan on probably doing that for more than just my programs, maybe even files, or like a certain, I usually open like the same folders over and over and over again, or I have like the same set of folders that I open to do like work, for example. So I can probably optimize that too. And that's probably going to be something that I'm going to do over time. And, you know, you always do like these optimization things might look or might be small, but the more you do it, the more time you'll save. So at some point, you know, if every small change can save you 2 minutes, maybe even more, you know, doing 10 of those, you can save 20 minutes. 20 minutes can be quite long. Same with like when you open or when you post something on Instagram, you can say like, hey, let me go to my into my phone settings, and then you can make these I guess you could say like macro texts or whatever, like these text codes where you write, for example, I have like Insta, and if I type Insta, there's like the suggestion to add like my most used, or my, you know, my most used hashtags, basically the ones that I use for quick sketches. Immediately, you know, I guess replace Insta with these hashtags, you know, to kind of save time there, because, you know, it can take time to come up with all of them, and then it can, you know, take time to write them all down, so you can save yourself that time. Stuff like that, you know. The more you do it, the better it gets, or the more time you save. And I think there's a lot of time that I can save that way. You can maybe too, you know. It's not just me. Maybe you see, oh no, I don't have enough time in the day. Let's you know, maybe it's you can look at certain things that you do and see if there's something you can improve. Might not even be just like a macro or something you can program. It could also just be like a overall program that can help you, I don't know, structure your day better, or keep you on track when it comes to remembering stuff like that. You have a lot of stuff that you need to remember. Probably better to grab good old program to do that for you, because, you know, if you have a lot of stress, for example, it's hard to, you know, remember everything. Same with notes or plans for the future. Okay, enough efficiency talk. Let's go ahead and get into this. You might see it, you might not. I cut my hair on today, not Thursday, today. I want to go with something new today, or today, this time. I wanted to let it grow longer up top, and then on the side keep it a little bit shorter. And I want to kind of push, like, comb it back, I guess you could say, but pretty, I guess, not like very clean, so that it looks like, I don't remember the rapper's name. Oh, damn. But I don't want to make it like super clean and super glossy. I want to make it pretty, I guess, like make it look effortless. I don't really like the sort of look where it looks super made, like, I guess, like intentional and super professional, let's say. I like it when it looks a little bit, I guess, wilder. So that's what I'm gonna go for more, or what I'm gonna plan on going for more. So right now, the I think my barber put in like gel, not I think it's like gel, so it's a little bit glossier than what I have here at home. So it's gonna be a little bit less like that, probably in the future, which I like more. Maybe it looks a little bit weird with the style that I want to go for, but maybe it also looks good. We'll see. You know, I always like to kind of rethink what I want to get for my haircut every time I go, because I usually go like every 3 to 4 months, and this way I can, you know, just kind of experiment. And I don't even really do like super huge different cuts usually, but I like to experiment at least a little bit, keep it fresh, you know. I don't like to have the same hairstyle for like 5 years straight. That's not really what I like, because there's always a new cool look maybe that you can find, and if you always get the same, then, you know, you maybe miss a cool new hairstyle that you know, that might look better on you, or that you might like better. But because you say, well, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna go for the same anyway, you don't find it. You don't look for it, you can't find it. And then this basically finishes, or this basically completes the Arcane series, at least from so far. Maybe we'll do more in the future, but I want to do something else next week. Because like 3 weeks of doing these characters, it's still fun. It's really fun for me, especially after finishing my 2-month project. But I think some variation is still refreshing, and I don't want it to get stale. I have some more ideas that I want to do, and yeah, we're gonna do those, for example, next week. I also have some stream changes that I want to, I guess, think about, but those will probably be somewhere around New Year. Okay, we have 15 minutes left. That's good. Wait, okay. I thought I didn't save. I mean, I didn't hit record, but I did. Yeah, so I'm actually, so from, I have a certain look that I wanted to go for these realistic recreations, you could say, and I think I hit it pretty well. I think you can always, of course, improve not only your workflow but also the look. So I think Vi, for example, looks better than Jinx, just because of, I guess, I spent more time on her, and then also because I have some more experience. I definitely want to look more into how to light characters more, or not only that, especially I want to go into sort of how to improve and like artwork in Photoshop a little bit more, because I think that's something where I'm still sort of where I can improve more than what I'm doing right now. I kind of recognize that I always think like, oh, I think you can do more, but I don't really know what I could do, and I think I want to watch some, you know, some tutorials and whatever, just to kind of explore possibilities and like workflows from others, maybe how they, for example, I guess, do post-production in Photoshop, or touch up their like shootings, for example, for photo shootings, which probably works pretty well for these sort of renders too. So that's something I wanted to look up too. Post-production is a huge step in every, I guess, CG genre, let's say. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to lose on quality for the piece just because I don't know how to do it. Oh, I'd love to learn how to add some post-production as well. Yeah. Welcome, Austin. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Hope you had a great day. Post-production is, I think, one thing that a lot of, well, I don't really have that much experience like seeing other people's work, but I think that's one of the things that can bring your artwork, that can basically, that lets your render get to an even higher level. So you can create the most insane render in Blender, but I think with post-production you can make it even better. And if you use something like Photoshop or maybe even the Blender internal compositor, you can even do it pretty quickly. You know, it doesn't even take that much time to do at least some changes which improve the look overall. So I don't think there's any, like, even with a few changes you can improve it by a lot. And I think that's why I do it already, but I want to get even more into it. Maybe even do like a quick tutorial about it at some point, because I think it's so important. There you go, nice little curve horns. I haven't really looked deeper into the Blender post-production or compositor. I really only use it for like the glare node to add some glow around the lights. I basically use the compositor right now basically just to add effects that are harder to add in other programs like Photoshop. Stuff like basically stuff where Blender has more info than exists in the image itself. So for example, Blender in itself stores information like how bright is the image, or it saves stuff like the depth of an image, which you can then use to add certain effects like a blur effect, for example, like fog too. Stuff like that you can't really add in Photoshop without manually creating it. In Blender you can just, you know, set up like a depth environment, let's say, and then you can do it in there. And that's stuff like that you can do, for example, which can, for example, for environments, immensely improve the overall look of an image. So stuff like that, you know, I think that's still untapped potential. Oh, hello, my mouse is just dead. There we go. Oh, saving? True. Thank you. I think so far I lost one quick sketch out of 311, so it's going pretty well. Or 312. But, you know, you never know. Better safe than sorry. Fortunately, that was not on stream, so I didn't lose like any streaming time. But we had to redo it again. Quick sketch day 3, 1, 2. There you go. I was off stream, so I could, you know, just, I guess, be frustrated off stream and then just do it again, rather than having to, I guess, redo it and lose like another 30 minutes, which could be even more frustrating because I want to use that time for something else. Then doing the quick sketch again. Of course, usually, you know, I like to tell myself when I have to do something again that it's gonna look better the next time, but it's still, you know, just robbed time. It's time you're never gonna get back. Like losing someone, and yeah, it's basically like losing someone. I don't really know how you compare that. It feels like losing someone and you're only knowing it after the fact, so that you can't really do much about it, you know? That might be a little bit darker than it should be, but That's how it feels. That's just life. You know, if you ever see someone that talks or that tells you like, oh, I lost my father because somebody, I don't know, you know, killed him, and I couldn't do anything, or we don't even know who did it, so you kind of like, you know, there's nothing you can kind of cling on to sort of I don't know, to, I guess, direct your emotions to. You just have to sort of take it in. That's basically what happens in Blender or in any program when it just crashes. You just have to accept it. You can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do. You're just done. And then you do it again. Or you give up, you know. You can either be defeated by the crash, or you can do it again. Okay, he looks too happy right now. Look at him. He's smiling. Let's make him angry. 7 minutes. Oh no. Okay. Let's give him a mean look now. Okay, he looks a little bit angrier. Not too angry still. Let's add some more. So, I think this sort of wild look, you can achieve this wild look, or this like insane look, by making, for example, like an animal, have whatever emotion, but then the eyes are like wide open like this. And I look 10% more insane than this. Ooh. Even just opening my eyes, not even moving my eyebrows. I think just even opening your eyes like to the max can make something look more maybe insane or more wild. And if you want to make, like, for example, this dog very aggressive looking, just doing that I think can help a lot. That's what I kind of want to do here. You can see I want to try to keep his eyes open, but they don't really look too angry right now. Let's see if we can change that here in the next 6 minutes. If not, then I guess we failed, or I failed. Let's see. We also need to add these lines here, because they when like, you know, they want to show their teeth, so they pull their skin up like this. Or they want to smile, I guess. They want to show their magnificent smile, so the other one is intimidated because they don't have an inferior smile, maybe. Who knows? What I always think is weird is when, like, dogs, they don't really want to bite you, but they just like show their teeth, and then like you, even if you then continue, for example, approaching them, and they do it with your hand, for example, they just at some point stop and then just, I guess, accept it. I don't know, but they sort of seem to like show some sort of aggression, or sort of like, oh, I don't want this. But then once you kind of approach them, I guess they change their mind, or they just, I don't know, accept defeat. Kind of weird sometimes. But if they just kind of, you know, flinch their teeth, but nothing, like they do nothing else. They just want to act tough, but then they realize they have nothing on you. They know exactly who feeds them. They remember. All they can see in their brain is the empty food bowl. And the vet. If it comes to, if it's, you know, the worst case scenario, I guess. Oh. I think I'm done talking about death today. Today's a very death heavy stream. Okay, this looks pretty weird. I mean, you know, it looks pretty raw, let's say, pretty rough. Maybe we can add some more detail here. That could maybe help making it look more wild. I don't want to just have like these straight lines. If you do these squiggly lines, we can make it look more like fur. And then also make it look more natural and more, you could say, you know, wild. There's somebody followed. Hold on. I need to look it up. I need to. There it is. Oh, welcome. No teeth. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah. Welcome, Memers Haven. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your your Wednesday. I see you you joined the Discord twice. I would guess. Let me guess. It was because you have 2 accounts and you logged in on the wrong one. That was my guess. First I thought it's like a bot, but then I thought no. If you know, there's one account with an image or one without. Yeah, exactly. that can't be a bot. I had the same recently. Sometimes you just have multiple Gmail accounts or whatever email account, and then you just don't know which one's the right one. Or you just automatically logged in with the wrong one. Okay, this is gonna look rough, okay? Don't judge me. Let's just do some zigzag here, maybe that works too. Zigzag, nice. There you go, perfect. Add some bumps here and there. Easy. He looks kinda... That's better. Yeah, kind of showing his teeth. Judging. Is that the trash dude again? I can't remember what it was. Hold on, are we done? Yeah, no, we're 58 seconds. Okay, hold on. What can we do? What can we do? Let's add some more detail here. There he is. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off somewhere over there, so I'm not gonna work on that. Let's just kind of add some small hairs here, just doing some squiggly lines. And then we're done. No time to add more detail. Oh, we can, oh, hold on. We have 25 seconds, so let's add some fur here. Da-da-da. Perfect. Look at that. Go to here too. There you go, perfect. Maybe even somewhere over here. Oh, look at that. Make it more ferocious. Perfect. Look, the music fits to what we're doing. Making this awesome, epic fantasy wolf. Perfect. Okay. I think that's all we can do here. It's already over. There you go. Okay. Let's do some do a quick lighting, shading, and PP, so we can finish this. Perfect. This is not too important, so I'm gonna just leave it there. Let's go into layout. Welcome back, LaPhantom57. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday, and I hope you had a great day. Maybe you've already bought all the presents for Christmas. Maybe you're an early buyer. I was never an early buyer myself, but you know, maybe some people are. I always told myself I'm gonna like buy all of it, or you can even order it, you know, but you know, buy all of it before like Christmas time is like upon us. But then I usually just went, you know, into the city like a week earlier, or maybe even a few days before Christmas, which, you know, not the best idea, but I guess it worked out every time so far. And now that we decided to not like gift gifts anymore, I don't really need to stress about that anymore. Or maybe, you know, you don't celebrate Christmas. With the Dark Souls wolf, that's what I thought about too. Hold on. There it is. It looks like him, right? But I think that one has a bigger sword. This one's just like a, I guess, Fenrir. I don't know if that like mythological creature always has like a sword on it. I know the name, I've heard it before, but I can't remember what the lore is. Let's finish the this thing. We need light first. Oh, somebody else followed. Oh no, hold on. I still have it open. Oh, the Phantom 57. Another platform, dual platform user, I see. Some people like to switch between Twitch and YouTube. Maybe you're one of those. One of those people. Okay, let's get it done. First, light. Okay. I like the light. Oh, we need eyes too, but we can add those later. Let's finish this first. Light position. I wanna, with this light, I kind of like to have like a focus point. I don't want to show everything. So I like to have like a lot of black on the side, for example, and then only light up the top half. Maybe even this side here. So we can see the texture right there. For example, like right there. If we move the light all the way over here, we can see we kind of lose that contrast. We gain more in other areas, but I kind of want to direct it in a way where I can focus the attention with my contrast. So for example, on these like structures there, I can focus, you know, put some focus on it by creating this dark and light contour. I mean, contrast. This one I probably want to make dimmer. There you go. And then let's place it. The teeth look very rough, but I guess that's just something we have to accept. We can even create some depth with it by, you know, making dark in the back there. I think that's pretty cool. Let's add some lights. I mean, some eyes. Or first, let's add the color. And then we're done. There it is. That's pretty cool. I like that. I don't like the color on the front though. That's better. Perfect. Twitch lives are faster than the YouTube ones. Yeah. I wanted to just look into that. Maybe that's for all the live streams, or maybe that's just for mine. There is a certain setting for it. I don't know if that affects the chat though. It could be, and maybe I can do some changes to make it faster. Maybe not. We'll see. The other option, of course, if I can only do that in YouTube itself or in the YouTube stream settings, then I need to stream with 2 OBS open, but that would cost too much bandwidth, and I couldn't really do that. So I can either do it or I can't. There's probably some answer to it. I just need to know what it is. I tried to find a good solution for it before, but I couldn't find anything. I didn't look for too long. So there's definitely some more I can do. I just need to look into it. What to make a Jack in the Box toy? Ooh. Ready for Christmas, basically. Creating a toy. You can maybe even make a an animation. It's sitting underneath the, like, it's scary Christmas tree, and then, you know, the camera zooms into it, or close to it, and then it, you know, the little handle rotates until it opens, and I don't know, you know, it scares you if you're scared about, you know, scared by these things. Animated, nice. Oh, you know what would be pretty crazy if you could actually animate the cloth, for example, if you have like a puppet jumping up, if you could animate the cloth so that it looks realistic. I don't think that's gonna work, but you know, if you want to destroy your PC, I guess you could try it. Santa in the box with black beard. Oh, with some tattoos and piercings. Or maybe his, I don't know, his body is just mutilated. Okay, you know, we're immediately back to death. We talked about death too much this stream already. I guess we have to hit our yearly death quota. The year is almost over. So this is the stream to, you know, reel it back in. Okay, hold on. What colors could we use? Oh, he uses like this, or they use this this teal color. I like that actually. This is actually one of my favorite colors because it's like right in between blue and green. It's a special color, I guess. That's also why I like this color a lot, because it's like a mix between pink and red. It's not like fully on red. It's not fully pink. It's just like a mix between. That's also why I like this one. It looks really cool. Perfect. Let's see if the world lighting is okay. Okay, we can maybe even add the color in the background. I think that removes too much contrast, but we can maybe just darken the background. I think that's better. Yeah. There you go. Cyberpunk Santa. Digital teeth with screens on them. Oh, that's the next trend for all the rappers. They just you know how they have like tattoos on their hands saying something? The next trend is gonna be like screen what are they called? Screen grills with, I don't know, gold plating or gold like borders, and then there's like a small display displaying certain letters and they can change it. That's gonna be the next gangster trend. I actually looked up how much grills cost. Gold grills are actually pretty cheap. I think they're like $500 or so, or euros. I don't know if it was dollars or euros. I thought it would be way more, like at least 10K, but I guess not. I guess that's sort of the stepping stone. First you get maybe, I don't know, silver grills, then you get gold grills, and then you get diamond grills. Doraemon episodes. I think so. I think gold grills like look super weird. It just looks like you have no teeth, because usually like the reflection doesn't really, like, if there's not a lot of light, it looks black because it can't really reflect anything. So it looks like you have no teeth when you're smiling, or you have like these very contorted or these distorted teeth. That's like, gold looks super weird. But I've seen some pretty cool diamond teeth. If the I don't know if they were diamond or they were just, or there was none, but it looked pretty cool because they make, you know, your teeth wider, which can look pretty cool. And then also, if the stones or the diamonds, I guess, aren't too big, you don't really, like, it doesn't look too, I guess, rough. It can look pretty clean, I think. I wouldn't, you know, buy it myself, but I guess if you get one, or if I would get one, I guess I would get like a diamond one. I wonder how much that would cost. I guess that would just like a custom made. You can only make them custom. You can only make them custom made. I guess you always have to make them custom made because they're like, they need to, you know, fit onto your teeth. But yeah, you know. If I was a rapper, I would only get diamond grills. Diamond teeth. Well, they don't really put them in your teeth, you know? They just, wait, the color is actually not really that visible. Why? Oh, I know why. I forgot to deactivate the other lights. Let me show you what I mean. Diamond grills. Is it with Z? There it is. Wait, what? Here, look at this. So that's what it looks like. See? So you have these diamonds on these, I don't know, holders. And then you know, shape them to your teeth so you can put them on your teeth. They don't like in your teeth like this. They can look pretty cool if they're like very, I guess, white. It also kind of looks weird, so I would never get them, you know? But I think now, like, compare that to, what is it, like gold grilled? Look at that, what is that? That just looks like a horror film. Look at that. It looks like, you know, so, you know, you have all these advertisements to make your teeth white. So, you know, the trend is kind of, you know, to get whiter teeth. But some people, I guess, decide to get golden teeth. So basically yellow teeth. I don't know, it just looks weird. Maybe that's just me though. I think, yeah, if they have a texture on it, it looks better, but just this plain gold just looks weird. There's also this thing where you put them like in between your teeth. Yeah, I don't know. They just look weird. Yeah, you didn't brush your teeth. Exactly. It just looks like dirty teeth. Wait, did it render? Oh, yeah, it did. Perfect. Okay. Put in the glare node. There you go. Let's set it to 7. Okay. Perfect. And then, nope. No lens distortion. It looks pretty flat, but maybe we can, I guess, improve it a little bit in Photoshop. Okay. This is just a quick sketch, okay? Disclaimer. This is not a high quality image. So don't flame me. Oh, let me drink something real quick. Yeah, gold just looks, especially if you have both sides. Some people just have one row of teeth, gold, for example. Then you can kind of see, well, you know, their teeth don't really look like that, but still, you know, gold just looks kind of weird. Maybe that's just me. I guess it's more like a status symbol rather than like the looks necessarily. That's why Gucci and all that can be so expensive, because it's more a statement rather than like people that buy stuff like that go more for the statement that these clothes express rather than the overall, I guess, look necessarily. You know, it's special, it's something unique. It shows that you can buy these expensive things, so people, you know, maybe see you in a different light, which you maybe want. You know, maybe people want to see. Maybe people want, or you want people to perceive you as rich. So you buy Gucci stuff. I'm not really a fan of that, but I guess if you like that, then go for it. In my opinion, pretty unhealthy, but you know, you never know. I guess if people can help themselves. So you instant love those arcane sculpts. Thank you. Let's finish the last one this week. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. Today I'm sort of dazed. I don't know why. I can't speak today. I think I had the same yesterday a little bit. I need more rest. I don't know. You know, sometimes my tongue just can't keep up with what I want to say. Yeah, thank you. This week I'm gonna finish the last one, at least in this series. Maybe we're gonna do some more at some point. But next week we're gonna do something different. Probably some smaller topics. I have some, at least probably 2 or 3 that I want to do. So we're not gonna do like a project next week. Probably maybe smaller ones, but nothing like big, like 1 week projects. But yeah. Oh, next week is actually a feedback session. So if you have a piece where you want to get personal feedback for, then post them in the personal feedback channel on Discord, and then we're going to look at them next week. Okay, See, I'm still in Photoshop. I mean, still in Blender, even though I want to go to Photoshop. Welcome back, Crow. What will happen today, or what was when I was not? What happened is we finished the quick sketch. You basically always, or almost always, arrive at the best time, basically right after we finish the quick sketch, and we go into the actual topic of the stream. Okay, we need to wait for a few seconds. I don't know why Photoshop does this, but it just freezes. See, I can't, oh, there it is, perfect. It just freezes for 5 seconds or more, and I can't do anything. I can't select anything. It's just weird sometimes. Okay. Maybe it's because it needs to connect to something. Maybe it works better in offline mode. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think the contrast is quite low on this one. There you go. Okay. Put more vibrance on this bad boy and then we're good. There you go. Perfect. RAM, maybe. I don't know. Because it only really happened when I upgraded my my Photoshop version. That's when it started. And maybe older versions work. Maybe I'll just try older versions because there's nothing really new that I want from this version. Yeah, maybe I'll try an older version. Welcome back, Dusty2. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. I need to come up with more with more greetings. Okay, there you go. No stalling anymore. We're gonna be done with this in a few minutes. Let me just quickly save this and then we're good. Projects. Okay. Yep, today we're gonna work on the skin shader. We're gonna begin with the basic skin shader that I use for Vi. I'm gonna do one small adjustment for the overall shader, and then we're gonna do some customization to make it look more like Caitlyn, like the makeup, maybe some even more makeup than just the eyes. We'll see. Just gonna make it more personal, more unique. Okay, perfect. Let I review what I missed when there's time. I don't think there's that much to see with these quick sketches. I guess you could listen to my rambling, but I don't know how much you can get out of those. You can hear me describe how painful or my equation to, or what I equate losing a file because you haven't saved it is, or what I equate it to. Yeah. Where's the image? There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. That's done. We're good to go to Caitlyn. In 3 minutes though, because I need to upload the image. Which means I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go back to Caitlyn. We're gonna go into the skin shader, and we probably have some more time to go into the clothing again. I finished, or almost finished, the top piece, so maybe we can go into the bottom part, which would basically almost finish that piece, and then we can maybe even go into the shoulder part. We'll see how far we can go today. But of course we want to focus on the skin first. So I'll see you in 3 minutes. Hope you enjoy the compilation. Yeah. Until then, enjoy. And there you go. That was quick. Too quick for me. I need to finish this post real quick. Hold on. Nope. And there you go. Okay. Perfect. Let's go to the next topic. Let's save this and there you go. Oh, I didn't even apply the quick sketch shader. Well, next time, I guess. Let's go to Caitlyn. So you can see what we worked on last time. You can see this one is not the haircut that you can see right there, but this is also not the outfit that we wanted to go for. The outfit that we wanted to go for is this one, and that's the hairstyle that we did yesterday. I actually just noticed that we haven't added this strand yet, but I also said that we're not going to work on the hair today. What we're going to work on today is the skin. So if you go into material preview, you can see the hair is black. Well, hold on. We go into render view, you can see the hair is blue, the eyebrows have color, but what doesn't have color? Everything else, basically. Today we're not going to focus on the clothing because I want to finish the clothing modeling before I want to go into the clothing material. So we're not going to go into the clothing modeling today, but what we're going to go into today is the skin shader. It looks kind of weird in white. So we're gonna create a skin shader today. We're not going to create it from scratch though. We're going to create it from a base. For Jinx, Vi, and for her, we're going to use the same skin shader. Or not, yes, same skin shader. So I basically created one for Jinx, then I copied it over to Vi, personalized it a little bit, and then I will copy it over to her too. So let's first of all grab the skin shader so we can use it. Yeah, you know, they can look very, very different depending on how you're going to customize the skin shader. So you don't necessarily need a different skin texture for every different character that you create. Of course, you can still sort of see these similarities, but if you add like extra variations into the skin shader, you can't really see it really. You can't really see it because the like, for example, like where the red, I guess, irregularities are or whatever, they're harder to see if you have stuff added to the base color to make it look more unique. And so, you know, if you compare the Jinx skin shader, for example, to the Vi skin shader, you can't really see that they're like the exact same. Especially for the Vi skin shader, because I also added like a small, I guess, dirt texture on her face so that it looks a little bit dirtier, I guess you could say, which we didn't have for Jinx. So, you know, that's one way you can customize that stuff. Let me grab the material. There it is. We need skin. Okay, so now if we just go into material preview and we apply it, you can see what it looks like. Okay, for some reason. Okay, so if we now just apply the skin shader, you can see it looks basically like Vi, or at least that's the Vi material. There you go. You can see she looks a little messed up. She has the Vi tattoo right there. So there are some changes that we need to do, but at least we have the basic material. So what we're going to do now is basically, first of all, remove all the personalization for Vi. What we're going to replace is the eyeliner. We're going to create a new one. We're going to also change some colors, and we're going to remove stuff like these red dots and like the damage and all that. You can see here this dirt texture that I've added. Yeah, so let's do that first. Let's just get rid of all the crap that we don't need. You can see we have quite a few things here and there. Starting with this one. What's that? That's the dirt. So this one can already go away. You can also check what something is by just muting the mix shader, and then I think the one up top, the first one that is being listed, will be continued, as you can see right there with this line. So this one should now remove the dirt thingy. There you go. So now we don't have any dirt, which is good because she looks pretty clean. I think she's coming from a more, I guess, higher class background. So she isn't really like in any dirt fights, let's say. So this can go. There you go. You hand painted that texture. So I haven't hand painted the dirt texture. I just used a ground texture and then changed the colors in a way where it looks more like dirt. The basic skin shader is a face scan texture. And then I added these scratches here. So this red thingy here, these lines, for example, the Vi tattoo, stuff like here, let me show you what it looks like without anything. So let me show you the base skin shader so we can compare before and after, before customization and after. We're going to begin with body UV alpha. That's what it looks like. So that's, oh, hold on. That's not what it looks like. Hold on. We begin with this thing. Oh, hello. So that what it looks like without any customization. Wait, not even. Hold on. So that's the clean slate. We need to do one more thing. We need to get rid of this, and then that's the clean version. There you go. So that's the clean version, and then with all the customization, you can make it look very, very unique. So if you bring everything back, it looks. We can first of all bring back the tattoo, for example, and the eyeliner like this. See, now we already have a completely different looking face. First of all, it looks more feminine because of the eyeliner, of course. That's before, and that's after. And then, of course, we can also add stuff like small, I guess, pimples, you could say, or small scratches. For example, especially for Vi, because she's been in a lot of fights, so she has more bruises. For example, the big one here on the side. Right. There, this one. Or the red right there. Stuff like that you can use to make it look more, or make it, you know, more personalized. Oh, my nose is itching. Okay, so first things first, we don't need the tattoo and the eyeliner. We're gonna make that new. We're gonna create a new one. The eyeliner and tattoo I made myself, that texture. I basically created a black and white texture so that I can use that as a mask to combine two shaders, one for the tattoo color, or yeah, for the tattoo, and then one for the skin. So that's what it looks like now. Let's go ahead and remove more. We also have wounds. So the wounds texture, that's what it looks like. Hold on. If we only show this, that's what it looks like. So this is basically a mask. I use masks more than actual colors, because then if I use masks, I can plug them into, for example, a hue, saturation, and value node. And everything that is black will be unchanged by these values that we do here in this node. And everything that's white will be affected by this node. So if you plug that back in, and we, for example, say we change the hue, you could see nothing changes except for everything that was white. So I like to use masks more rather than actual colors, because this way I can customize it even more. I can say where the color should change, and then I can change the color in the node itself. So I have more flexibility, basically. Timer's still on screen. Oh no, thank you. That's the one that I missed yesterday. I actually mentioned it today, that I wanted to pay more attention to that. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, get rid of this. We don't need wounds. She comes from a royal family. Yeah. Yeah, that's why she looks, you know, a little bit more put together. Oh, hold on. So now we have that. And that's, I think, the base that we're going to work with. What have we done here? What's this? Lipstick. So the lipstick we can actually keep. That's actually the one that I used for, or that we used for Jinx. It basically just creates a black and white mask for the lipstick, because the original, you know, texture looks somewhat like Oh, hello. Like this. So the lips have a different color than, for example, like Vi's lipstick or Vi's lips. So to change them, I just usually apply a lipstick mask. Now it looks like this. And now we're basically ready to begin. So the face scan texture comes with a bump map and also a color map. No other maps like roughness and whatnot. That's not included. Only color and bump map, like a bump map. So everything else we can create ourselves if we need to. I think I'm going to keep it pretty even. Maybe even make her skin a little bit, you could say, less glossy to make it look like matter. I think if you have like a more matte look, it looks more clean, you could say. It looks less like dirty. So, you know, that's what I want to go for. Make it look more, a little bit more matte, maybe even add some more makeup than only, for example, the eyeliner. I think that can make it look a little bit more, I guess, well put together too, more royal. So yeah, let me set up the rest here first, and then we can begin. I'm gonna probably not change the body UV subsurface scattering as well as the body UV, I mean the roughness or the subsurface scattering, because they basically apply to any head. Basically what they basically do is they tell the shader where there's supposed to be more subsurface scattering or less, and the same applies for the roughness. We can say it's basically for subsurface scattering use the same texture as well as for roughness, because generally, for example, the nose is glossier than your cheekbone, for example. And the areas that are very glossy in the face are very similar between subsurface scattering and the roughness. So, yeah. My ancestors say I come from royalty in the UK, but I still look ghetto. Ancestry.com. I don't know if that's that useful in finding your ancestors. Okay. So that's the base. I also have a skin shader here, as you can see. This one's just a basic procedural skin texture, which is somewhere over here, this one. It looks like this. See, that's what it looks like. Yeah, there you go. At some point it merges. I think I created a gradient. I think you can see it right here, where it switches between the two. Can you? I think so. Oh, of course, we can only see this color right now. Somewhere over here, it merges between the head. There it is. It merges between the head texture and the other texture. And we're not going to see that anyway, so we don't really need to pay attention to the perfect, seamless texture transition. So I'll just, you know, I just made a quick, smooth transition, I guess, and then it looks pretty good. Birth certificate records, okay. Okay, I mean, you know, if you think about how much can change in 10 years, you can probably imagine how much can change in 100 years. It's some power if you take your time to do it, okay. I mean, you know. Maybe I'll do it at some point. Okay. But now we have the clean slate. First thing first, I think what I want to do is I want to lighten her skin a little bit. If we look at this in the render view, because the render view is more important than the actual material preview, because sometimes the material preview is a little bit sort of off color, so you could say. You can see here, this looks way better than in material preview, for example. I think material preview is more set up to show you the effect of any setting in the shader more efficiently, so you can see glossiness way better in the material preview than you can, for example, in the rendered view. So this looks way more natural than the material preview, for example. There's one change that I want to do here that will hopefully make this maybe even look, hopefully, I don't want to hype it up too much. That will hopefully make this even better than what it is right now. That's actually interesting. So in Blender 3.0, they changed the way the principal BSDF looks. They added 2 more values, which will improve what the skin shader or what skin shaders can look like. Maybe if we add a new one, we can actually see the setting that I mean. That's the wrong one. Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong one. There it is. See the difference? It's longer, first of all. And the difference is we have two new values. We have subsurface scattering, IOR, index of refraction, and we have subsurface anisotropy. And hold on. Anisotropy. Can I get a pronunciation, please? How to pronounce whatever. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, elastic asymmetry and material anisotropy. So
Anisotropy, okay.
Again is in the cortex.
Anisotropy. Yeah, we have now a subsurface scattering anisotropy too. What that does is it's hard to see. Anisotropy is what you can see on, for example, kitchen utensils like pots, where they have this weird reflection on them. So if you go in here and we say anisotropy, can we see it somewhere here? There it is. That's what it looks like in real life, like this. So that's the effect. I don't exactly know what it does, but it creates this effect. I think it has to do with light reflections and how it works, especially on metallic objects. But skin also has anisotropy. And the amount is actually... I actually found that out by looking at all the new Blender features. If you go to Blender 3.0, I think it was in here, and then I went to the actual link. Please stop. It's here. Is it? Yeah. So we have all this crap, and there it is. That's the most important thing that we need. So this is anisotropy 0.0, which is what we have currently, and this one's anisotropy 0.8. You can see the difference right here. As they say, subsurface cutting now supports anisotropy and index of refraction for a random walk. Realistic skin has anisotropy around 0.8. So how about we add this new principal BSDF shader and add an anisotropy value of 0.8 to see if there's a big difference. We probably can't see it in the rendered view, but maybe we can. Let's see. My last name comes from circa 1630 Friesland. Okay. That's as far back as it goes in my last name, but my mom's mom's side family goes deeper. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's plug all these things into the new principal BSDF and see what it looks like. Roughness, and then the bump map too. Okay, I'm gonna keep this as a backup just real quick. There you go. So that's what it looks like right now. Oh wow. Okay, hold on. There's one more thing that I forgot. The subsurface radius needs to be changed. We need to divide this by 10. Because it's a 1/10 of the standard size in Blender, which is weird because I work with meter values. Oh. There you go. So that's what we had before. If I remember correctly. It looks a little bit different. Do we actually have those values? Oh, the color too. So this is what we had before. There you go. Now let's see what it looks like with anisotropy enabled. 0.8. Is there a difference? I think there is actually. Hold on. It looks different. Does it not? Is that just me? You know what, let's do a quick render. Let's do a quick render. Let me place my camera here. I don't remember how to do it. I think there's like a certain shortcut for it. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. There it is. You can place the active camera in the viewport position by pressing Control, Alt, and 0, if you ever need that. Okay, so let's see what the differences are between anisotropy of 0.8 and 0. We're going to do 2 renders. Let me just quickly optimize the render. Then we can see what it looks like. In my opinion, it looks better, but let's see how much better. Let's save it real quick. And then let me set everything up. Let's set it to 50%. That's good. Okay, I think that should be enough. We don't need more than 32. Let's set it to 64. There you go. Okay. Okay, let's do 2 renders. So the first one will be without, and then the other one will be with anisotropy. So this will be without. We're going to save it in... Hold on. Horizontal split. There you go. So this will be render result, slot 1. There you go. Wait, is that actually the one that we... Oh, there it is, slot 1. So this will be without anisotropy. Okay, let's see how long it takes. 44 seconds. I don't know if that's right, but let's see. It's still building, so it can take a little bit longer. We can maybe even get out of here to make it quicker. $30 seconds sounds pretty doable. Oh, wait, what? Oh my god. I have a body backup right there that I haven't disabled in the render. Okay, let's do it again. So this will be subsurface cutting anisotropy 0.8. No, this will be... Okay, this will be subsurface cutting anisotropy without anisotropy. So this will be the skin shader without subsurface scattering anisotropy. So many words. Oh, there it is. Oh, I actually still have the hair. Okay. 20 seconds. We might lose the detail by having that few samples, but I think it still looks different. We can actually put this on here. There you go. Okay, so that's without anisotropy. Let's look at it with anisotropy of 0.8. We're gonna go to slot 2. There you go, and we're gonna render that too. It seems like it looked different, but I'm curious how different it looks and what the differences are. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is with anisotropy, and this one's without it. You can see very, very, very slight changes, especially in the lips. This one's with, this one's without. This one's with, this one's without. It gives them more depth, right? See, look at this part here. Look at the corner. You can see how, or even the over the top edge. See how bright it is right there? And this one gives it more depth, or it makes it darker a little bit. See right there? It looks better. It definitely looks better. Use J button. What does J do? Oh, nice. Yeah, see how what the difference is here? You can see this one's pretty sort of yellowish, and then this one's way redder, way more. It looks way more than actual skin, you know. Underneath the skin is, you know, there's blood, so that's what you would see through the skin. Yeah, way, way better. It's a very subtle change, but it still has big impact on what the skin looks like. I like it. Okay. Let's let's keep it there. So this is anisotropy. Hold on. This one's anisotropy on, and this one's anisotropy off. I like it. Okay. Let's go to the actual shading. I wonder, they don't say anything about the IOR. I wonder if there's a change there. I wouldn't think so, because they would probably set it to the standard value, even though they didn't do it for anisotropy. Let's see what the basic PBR skin subsurface scattering. What is it? IOR. Advanced techniques for realistic real-time skin. What is it? Skin rendering. Let's see if we can find. What was it? Let's say subsurface. I'm just going to look for IOR. Nothing. Well, okay. Yeah, I don't want to go into that too much, so let's just work with what we have now. Okay, so now that we have the bases here, let's get into some details. Please let me do something. There you go. Okay. So first of all, let's look at the lips. We already have a mask for the lips, so let's make them more. Oh no, before we do that, what I want to do is I want to look at the texture itself. Oftentimes the geometry doesn't perfectly align from one model to the other, so we need to change, for example, the lip mask a little bit to bring it closer to what we can see in this, or what we need for this model. So for example, you can see here on the lips at the top here, at the top middle edge of the lip, you can see there's a little bit of skin visible. The lip kind of dips down right there. We need to bring it up to make it align with the edge right there. We can do that pretty easily by just selecting this. We can go into the UV editor. We select, we select the what is it? The lipstick material. There it is. And then when you go into edit mode, and we can see after it's done lagging, we can see the texture. We don't need to go into lipstick. We need to go into UV body alpha PNG, which is not. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So as you can see here, those are the UVs, and you can also see how there's like a small dip right here. See how this pink line dips underneath these sort of UVs. If we push them up a little bit, no, we need to push the UVs down to bring the dip higher. So let's grab our good old move or smudge tool, or wait, which one is it? Grab tool. We're going to select it. It's similar to proportional editing, and then we just push it down. Look what happens here. Ooh, and then we can bring it up. And then we have lips aligning to the surface. Let's make it, can we make it smooth so we can see it a little bit better? If we make it smooth, we don't have these sharp edges. And then we can align it better to the correct UVs. This looks pretty good too. Maybe we can bring them out a little bit because let's see. Let's look at it from a different angle. Oh, hello. I think we can bring them higher just a little bit. I want to optimize the lip right now. So if we... Oh. I think just kind of pushing it out just a little bit can help here. I want to bring it higher, just a tiny bit like this. Okay. Let's see if it looks good from the front side. Looks pretty good. Let's do the same on the other side too. then we're pretty good. Then I think the lips look pretty good. And then we can go into some more personalization. Of course, what we could also do here is even more like randomization or variation in the texture itself. So what we could think about is adding some asymmetry in here too. So for example, you could say, well, let's if we have some sort of, I don't know, some sort of skin detail like this dot right here, we want to place it somewhere else, we can just, you know, move it and then somewhere else. Of course, we can't do like huge changes in the UV because that would lead to a lot of stretching. But if you wanted to do that, we can do that too. I think I want to keep it this way though. I don't want to make any huge UV changes. We can add some more later anyway. Okay, there you go. So that's the basic adjustment. Let's go back into the shader. Or image view first, because we don't need the other one. Okay, so now that we have the lips, oh, we still need to change the color though. I don't know why, but Blender is struggling right now. Okay. Let me see if I can close something. I can probably close Photoshop. We don't need it right now. Maybe that can give us some RAM. Okay. Let's look at the reference to see what the natural skin or lip color for her looks like. I think we already have a reference in here. We should have, which is this one, for example. I'm looking to find one that is very natural in its lighting. So it's not supposed to look too yellow. It's not supposed to look too blue, for example. This one looks pretty natural. Let's see if we have another one we can compare it to. If we don't have one in here, I can pull another one up. This one too. This one's, I think maybe, this one might be the better one. Because this one has more white, like a white light. It's not blue, it's white. So this one might be better to use as reference. And I think it actually looks it's pretty close. If you look at the lip color here, and we compare it to this one, it might be a little bit more red, a little bit reddier, it's more reddish, has a reddish tint. But I think what we can change, I think one thing that I want to change is the skin tone. I think the skin tone is slightly more yellowish and slightly brighter, I guess you could say. So let's change that first. So what we want to change is we want to change the basic skin color. So what we can do here, for example, is we can go into the hue to change the, I guess, skin color. These values are very, very, you could say, sensitive. So if you change those, you can see how much it changes with just a few value changes. So what I like to do is I like to go in here and just type them in. So this one's a little bit more yellowish, maybe. Also, of course, we want to change maybe the saturation down to 1, and then the value. It looks pretty. I think that's a pretty good basis. Maybe a little bit more yellowish, or maybe actually we can keep it at 0.49, and then the saturation maybe to 0.05. I think that's a pretty good start. If I compare that to my references that I have on my side. Let's see, 0.925. Very, very, very small changes. I think that's pretty good. You know what? I'm gonna remove the hair for now. Seems like the hair is adding some lag to everything. Hopefully, if we remove this, we can save some lag. Okay, perfect. So let's get into some custom textures. Or no, before we do that, let's go into the eyes. The eyes also, of course, have a color. So let's adjust that color real quick. She has very, very bright blue eyes. See, like there. So we need to give her bright blue eyes back. There it is. What I usually do, I have this skin shader set up. I think I've used the same tutorial that James used for his eyes that he made like a week ago or so, where he asked for some for help for, I think, the procedural eye, for his procedural eyes. I think I did the same tutorial. I then baked the textures that I can, move them around. The way the tutorial created those procedural eyes was based on the eye position. So if you rotate the eye or you move the eye, it doesn't look like an eye anymore. So if you bake those textures, you can make them work in any position basically. What I want to change is the slot 2 iris color. There it is. There's also already a color ramp that changes the color. The way I want to change the color is probably add some more saturation into this blip right there, into this handle. Make it way, way brighter and also more saturated. Okay. Apparently it's not... It's frozen. Perfect. Oh, it crashed. Well, let's see how much we will lose. See, my file has been murdered. Let's see how much we now lose because I didn't save. Let's see if we can have if we have an autosave. Probably not, because autosaves hate me. Yep. Okay, well, let's speedrun this real quick. We have lipstick, that looks good. Did we apply the shader already? We did. We didn't. No, we didn't. Okay. Put that in there. Subsurface. Okay. Once again, I get reminded to press Ctrl S more. I guess those are hard lessons I need to learn. Okay, there you go. And then 0.8. Okay. Let's keep that there. Let's save it right there. Let's remove the hair. Perfect. Okay. So now that we don't crash, I'm just going to focus on the eyes. And then we're going to go into it. I love when you set your autosave file or your autosave setting to 2 minutes and then it doesn't save it every two minutes. Okay. So first of all, we need to go to the iris and then we want to change the color here. First of all, it looks too desaturated, so we increase the saturation. Let's put it to full. That's definitely too much, so let's decrease it. And then we also increase the lightness. Okay, that looks pretty good. If you compare that to the reference, you can see there's still some room. I want to make it brighter, so we can probably either do it with this one. Actually, can we? Yeah, we can reduce the saturation. Or what we can also do is we can bring in this value right here, or this handle. This handle is basically like it basically creates like a mix between the blue and white strands. It's kind of hard to see here, but if I increase this more, we get these white sort of twirls in there. If I move it over here, you can see we kind of lose all of them. It's hard to see though. I think what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit, maybe change the color even to something more bluish. It could also be the lighting that makes it look a little bit too dark. But of course, it's also stylized, so we can't really get it to the exact color, because it's being influenced by light and other refractions. So it's not going to look exactly like the one that we have here in the reference. But at least we can get it close to it. I think they look pretty good now. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's go back, save it again. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go quickly change the skin color, and then we're back to where we were before. Wait, almost. we need to do this. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Let's change the skin color. I can't remember what I had here. I think I had like 0.4925. And then I had, what was here? Saturation of 0.105. No, 1.05. Value of, that looks pretty good actually. I like that. Okay. Now we're back to 0. Let's now add a line. Let's add some makeup. Oh, I also wanted to see what it looks like if I change the roughness a little bit. It's already pretty, you could say pretty rough. It's not super glossy. So what if we, for example, get rid of this? We change the roughness to 0.25. You can see how glossy it is. She just came out of the bathroom. She's very glossy. So these ones are more natural values, as you can see. I actually don't want to change this actually. Maybe we can add some contouring to give her a more makeup-y look and make it look more, you know, more personalized, let's say. But usually what I start with when I do one of these I guess makeup textures is I start with the eyeliner, because that's basically the one thing that is the easiest one to add, I guess. But then probably also gonna add some eyeshadow, and maybe even add the eyebrows. Okay, but let's go to here. There you go. What I want to do is I want to look at the material preview of this, because in here I can see the makeup better. There you go. She looks very horrified. Okay, now let's create the texture. I usually use an 8K texture on this because we have the entire body as an UV in one tile. We need to increase the texture size or texture aspect ratio to have a, I guess, at least medium quality texture for the face. We could also split it up into UDIMs, but I don't want to do that right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new texture, image texture node, make a new image, call it makeup. Set the width to ×8. Same here. There you go. We're going to start with black, and then we're going to add white. Basically, white will be the parts that will have makeup. What I then like to do, because I work in material preview, is I like to plug that in before we do any changes in the texture itself. We're going to use one of those color, probably mix RGB. Put that in there. Put the color into the factor, and then we're going to bring the original color that we have currently into the first socket. If we plug that in now, it looks like this. We can maybe even plug it in like straight into the file, but that kind of removes all the shadows, which makes it hard to see like depth. There you go. And then if we, for example, change this color here, nothing changes, of course. But if we bring it to like a brown color, for example, let's set it to mix, okay? And then we bring it to a nice brown color, like this. Nice and dark. There you go. I think that's pretty fitting. Welcome back, Hustler. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Maybe you're already excited. Oh, never mind. I wanted to say maybe you're excited for the weekend, but maybe you already had your weekend. I don't know why I always revert back to this. I hope you enjoyed your day. Okay. So now that we have the basic texture here, we can now go into texture painting. New haircut, yes. I went to the barber after 3 months or so, probably more. Got a haircut. I'm gonna try something new. Usually every time I go to the barber, I want to try something new. So that's the new thing that I want to try right now. Okay, so now what you can see, Oh, we don't even need this view actually. We can go into solid view here. We can see the black and white values here. What's even better is we can go into material preview up here. And then if we use the texture edit up here and we, for example, use the white value, we can see the makeup right there. Look at that. Isn't that great? And so we can now apply makeup to her. We can maybe even use mirroring. It doesn't seem like it works, does it? Oh, it does. Nice. So we only have to do one side. We can also give her war paint if we want. Or like what are they? Like cat hairs here. Hold on. There you go. Or like Ari. He has them somewhere over here, I think. Like right there. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, let's add some. Let's add the eyeliner first. I actually wanted to look at like real life makeup tutorials at some point. I'll probably do that at some point. Just to kind of see what like the general makeup I guess not workflow, but like how you properly apply makeup, or what like the principles are for them, like maybe what the eyeliner curve looks like, or what it's supposed to do, or how it works, and what like different shapes, like how different shapes change the look, maybe. I think that could be pretty helpful. I think her makeup is pretty subtle, actually. It's slimmer, definitely. Actually, maybe not too much, but I think she has like more of a curve in hers. She also goes all the way into the middle, into the corner right there. There you go. I'm going to put it on bold first, so we can still remove it afterwards. And then it sort of gets thicker the further it goes, until we reach the end. Somewhere over here. So it's like this. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. I think that's a pretty good start. A few more things here. I think I want to make it rounder. More like this. There you go. And then I also, let me give you some reference here. Actually, no, we don't have space for reference. And then I'm gonna switch it back to black, so we can make it sharper. You can see, even though we have an 8K texture, this texture is still low res. You can see all the, I guess, like pixelated edge, the pixelated edge. If we set it to 16K, I guess we will have a sharper texture, but it's so far away and so small that we don't really need that. She also has a very, very slim line at the bottom, so let's add that now. It goes somewhere, no, it goes to all the way to the end, but it's thicker at on the outside than on the inside. So it looks something like this. If you press X, you can switch between two colors, which you can determine here, right there. Look at that. And then there you go. I think that looks pretty good. It looks kind of wobbly right now, so let's see if we can fix it. Just make it rounder here. It looks kind of like there's a bump here, so if we maybe move it further down, it looks cleaner. There you go. I'm gonna take notes. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so of course this eyeliner will be supported by actual hairs, so that's not all that you'll see in the end. But that's the beginning. So this is what we have here. One thing that I would love to have in the texture edit mode would be layers. There's texture paints. What does that actually do? Let me save this makeup texture real quick. So if we go to F10, we can go to... Oh, wait. No, I don't want to save all images. I just want to save my new file, which is called makeup. So now you can see here in the face area, right there, we have these nice lines. We can see a small dot right there, but that is not really that visible here. I don't even know where it is. There it is. Come on. If you have these dots, sometimes you can remove them by just changing the camera angle. For some reason, sometimes you can remove them, sometimes you can't. So now we have this. Let's save it real quick. Blender also saves these in its cache. So if you close Blender or you accidentally close Blender without saving an image, it still has it in its cache once you open it again. But of course, to be sure, we're going to save it. I like to make a new texture folder and then put all those in there. Perfect. So that's the first part. I said I would like to have layering, because what I'd like to do is I'd like to separate like the eye line from the rest of the makeup. So I want to add some eyeshadow too. I want to add like some small contouring here too, just very, very slightly. Which I would like to separate from each other, so we have layers basically that we can hide or unhide. I don't think we can do that here. Maybe a texture paint slot? No. Okay, well. No, we can. So we just have to do it in one. Shouldn't be a big deal though. We just need to be a little bit more careful. If we, for example, look at a reference, which we can see here. There it is. What we can see is that she has eyeshadow. As I said before, the eyeshadow is darker in the middle and then gets brighter as it goes to the outside. It could also just be a shading, I guess, technique, but I kind of want to, I kind of like that style. So let's adopt that here too. Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and decrease the strength, probably to 0.25. I also want to remove the brush, what is it? Strength pressure, so that I always apply 0.25 strength. Now if we apply this, we apply a very, very little amount of the brush. If we go over the same areas multiple times, you can see we increase the value. This way we can create a nice little gradient. It's not that strong here. We can maybe increase it a little bit more here. There you go. Perfect. And then, as you can now see, it's a little bit wobbly. It's a little bit patchy. It's not that easy to see here, but if we switch back to full-on texture view, this one, for example, you can kind of see it. We can fix that by going in here and using the smudge brush or smear brush and just kind of wobbling it around, make it blurrier. For some reason, the smear brush works better than the blur brush oftentimes. I guess because it's... I don't even know why. The blur brush has just like a weird limitation to it, which is which is why it's harder to use sometimes. So I usually use the smear brush. There you go. See how it makes everything just nice and blurry. And then if we go back into render view, it looks like this. It's just very, very subtle, but I think it helps. If we need to, we can still change the intensity later. Yeah, but I think that's pretty good. So now let's go into the next step, which is contouring, just very, very, very lightly right here. I'm just going to do some small strips here. Number 1. So contouring is basically to kind of highlight some areas like the nose. So we can do one right there. Maybe another one. Oh, wait, which color do I use? Oh, I use the smear brush. Maybe I should use the color brush. There you go, number 1. Maybe 2. Okay. Just very, very lightly. You can see it's darker on the sides here. Like even girls make their makeup faster than you. I mean, you know, that's why I want to look up some tutorials so I can do it quicker. Wait. Oh, I want to switch to this view. So you can see what it looks like. Let's smear it a little bit to make it smoother. And I think then that's good enough. I also like to separate these textures for, I guess, convenience purposes. So if I, for example, want to increase the brightness on the eye makeup, I will thus for also increase the intensity on the nose makeup, because they're in the same shader, which sometimes, I guess, you know, sometimes I just want to increase the intensity on the eyes. Of course, you can still do it by just going into texture painting, but it's still more annoying than just separating the two. I guess it'll do for now, at least. Okay, there's one more that we can do here, which is on the nose tip. Right here. We use another brush, and then we do, I think it's like, let me look up a contouring image. Contouring. Yeah, they kind of go around the nose. If you look at a reference, that's also sort of what you can see in the reference there. Hold on. Right, it's hard to see here. Do we have a front view? We should have. There it is. You can see how it's darker, especially here, around this, and then down here too. So maybe just kind of put that in here. We can put that in here too. So we're going to add some darker spot right there, maybe once or twice. Okay, and then we need to smear it to blend it in. Okay, you can also see the values right here, of course, or the colors. So there you go. Pretty subtle, but I think it helps. Let's go into the next one, which is oh, I want to do some more on the side here to kind of increase the sort of, I guess, to highlight the cheekbone. We can do the same here on the side. We're going to select this. We're going to do this 1 and 2. There you go. And then we're going to smear it too. The bigger the brush, the more intense it is for Blender to calculate it. Texture painting can be quite heavy on the PC. I should have saved, but I didn't. Let's see if I will lose my progress once more. No, I didn't. Nice. Okay, let's save this real quick. I had a quick heart attack. There it is. Is that the right one? I think I have one for Vi and then for her too. Nope, that's the right one. Okay. There you go. Okay, onwards. So it's still not fully smeared. Let's continue. So you can see this texture has some, I guess, you know, some red dots or some darker areas. Her skin in general is pretty clean, so I don't think we're going to add more of those. We can maybe clean it up even, although I don't think we can see those dots anyway, or well, that much. What we could do is maybe lighten this area a little bit. I think it looks pretty dark. I think it fits more to Vi than her, so maybe we can lighten this a little bit. But let's not do that right now. I think that's pretty good now. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's go back to the shader itself. Okay. So There are a few things that I want to change. First of all, if you put on eyeliner, they're usually more, I guess, they're less reflective, or they have a higher roughness, I guess, than skin itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate this makeup shader from the original skin shader. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to create a good old mix shader so we can mix these two. And then we're going to use the makeup shader as the mask. Okay, there you go. Takes a while to load, okay. Oh, wait, we don't need this. There you go. We only need this. Put that into the factor, and now we have white makeup. There you go. Which we can easily change by just changing the color. What I also sometimes like to do is that I just like to switch to my actual reference. So like this, we can use this one, for example. And then we just select this color. We use the eyedropper and then just select the color that we can see in here. Like this one, for example. There you go. You can see it looks kind of weird. And that is because we don't have the bump texture applied. Let's put that in there too. Because it is still on the skin, so it would also kind of inherit the skin bumps. And then we can maybe make it a little bit darker. Maybe a little bit less saturated. And then there's one more thing that I want to do. I want to change the specularity. Maybe even the roughness. No, only these. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we don't need to. Specularity basically means how much the light gets reflected back when it hits the surface. So if you bring it to 0, you can see it looks like there's no light hitting it. If you set it to 1, I guess that's the highest value. I don't know how to equate it to anything. But if we set it to something like, I don't know, like 0.1, I think it's what I use for Vi. I think that's a pretty good value. Of course, if it's more reflective eyeshadow or eyeliner, I guess you could make it more reflective. But I think that works quite well. Let's look at it in render view. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit too unreflective. 0.2. And then also change the color. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Of course, she has no she has no hair right now. Let's bring back the eyebrows because we're going to need them for the next step. There you go. What we need to do is we need to add, I guess, like I want to create a texture underneath the eyebrows to kind of make it look like she drew them on, make it very clean looking. But at least now we have the makeup. Perfect. So let's get to the next part, which is the eyebrows. First thing first, a new texture. There you go. That texture will be called eyebrows makeup. There you go. 8K, okay. And then we're going to do the same that we've done before. Actually, we don't even need to, I think. If we go into solid view and then we go into texture paint, it's black and white, which is actually perfect because that's as much contrast as we could get. We then have we make sure that we have eyebrows makeup selected, and then we just create the makeup. Make it very nice and clean. I'm going to do the outline first, then I can remove the hair, and then we can do the rest. I think that's basically all that we need. Once you have the makeup, you know, if it's like a male character, that there's no makeup probably. Maybe a little bit if you want to sort of highlight the eyelashes a little bit more. But other than that, you don't really need anything. I think once we're done with this, we basically have everything that we need to finish the skin shader. So we can go back to the clothing. I think the eyebrows are actually asymmetrical, so we need to remove symmetry and I guess fix this one. See, they're a little bit offset, just a little bit, so I can, let's go in here again without symmetry and fix it. Okay. Perfect. And there you go. Let's see what it looks like. I have never tried this, so this might look horrible. But maybe it looks good. We'll see. Let's bring it back to object mode. Render view, bring back the eyebrows, and then let's see. Every time I put nodes together in Eevee, it loads for a second. Yeah, I don't know why that would happen. Have you checked if that's a common problem? Maybe that's just you. Maybe that's a you problem. I haven't looked it up yet. Ooh, bad. Big mistake. You know what? Let's do it. Let's see if that's a big, if that's a common error. Blender 3.0 EV nodes lagging. Procedural material very slow. For some reason in my Eevee my procedural asphalt material works pretty slow. I don't see any problems with cycle, and the same scene works as fine on a Radeon RX 480, so it seems to be a bug. When I switch to shader tab, viewport is much more responsive. I don't see any reason for lagging, but not sure if this is a bug. Maybe that helps for you too. When I change all textures from 4D to 3D, it's much better. Weird. I think it's a problem, or like an error, or like a bug. They said they have it on their list, but it's not I guess there's no focus on it, so let's see if they will fix it at any time. Maybe next year. Apparently Eevee took a big loss. Okay, well, that's why I always stick with cycles. Cycles will only gets better, and Eevee just gets worse. See, now the eyes look way, way brighter. That's pretty good. Nice. That looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, I like that. Oh, eyebrows. Okay. So the eyebrows are not brown. They're purple, if I see that correctly. Or that's just the light. I think that's just the light. Let's switch to the other reference. No, they're slightly purple. Very dark purple. Dark bluish purple. Her hair is blue. Let's choose that color from here. This one. I don't see it. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit darker and desaturated. That looks pretty good. Let's bring back the eyebrows and apply the same color to them. And see what it looks like. I should probably also save the file real quick so I don't lose them. Okay. You know what this feels like? This feels like any MOBA where you have like classes and so one person likes one class, one person likes the other class. And then the developer nerfs one of them. So one side complains that their side has been nerfed and the other side, you know, rejoices because they hate the other class. That's sort of what this feels like. I'm not saying I hate Eevee, but I don't like it. Cycle is going to be the go-to for 3.0. I still think Eevee on 2.9 is better than Cycle is now. I'm gonna download it just for that. There you go. So we have a slight purple now. It looks pretty bright. Maybe it can be a little darker. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's bring back the eyelashes too, just so we can see the full package now. I still want to change the eyelashes a little bit, but they look pretty good. Okay. Yeah, they look pretty good. You can actually see the highlighting from the shadow that we put on the sides here to highlight the cheekbones. We can maybe even make some parts brighter, but I don't think I want to do that. I think that's pretty good. So let's go back here. Now we have the hair. We don't want to work on the hair today. We want to work on the clothing. I think we're pretty much done with this, with the skin shader. We could always, you know, do some more work when it comes to adding some personalized stuff, like adding some small bumps or some small... You know what? We could maybe do that actually. We could maybe have some smaller bumps to make it look a little bit more personalized. Oh, one thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to change... Oh no, don't crash please. Okay. I wanted to change the small red spot underneath her eye. I want to make it brighter. I think it's too dark right now. See how it's like super red right there? I kind of want to change that. I think the best way to do that would actually go to Photoshop. The big enemy Photoshop. Always lagging. My opinion, baking texture in cycles doesn't make them look better than Eevee. Baking light is important, makes a difference, which Eevee does have. Well, I think you overestimate how much you need baking in cycles. Okay, wait. I think, yeah, I like the shadow here, but it's too strong. Let's make it just a little bit less. As I said, in my entire time using cycles, I've baked textures 3 times probably. Once for these eyes. There you go. It's only really to speed up the render, not really to change the look or whatever. Now it looks pretty choppy. Maybe we can now combine it with the blur brush to make it look a little bit, just a little bit smoother. I also forgot to enable symmetry, of course. You can still bake textures in Eevee though. Baking textures is not really, you know, tied to cycles. Eevee should also be faster with baked textures. Baking only really means that you turn procedural textures into actual image textures, basically. Or any, you know, whatever you want to bake. Depends on what you want to bake. If you do it with textures, then you basically, you know, you put the math into an image texture. Wait, is the setting in Eevee actually disabled? That wouldn't really make sense. Hold on. There it is. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Interesting. Weird. I mean, it would still make sense to bake stuff, I guess. If you have like very, very heavy textures. Oh, it probably can't because it applies the cycles render. It uses cycles to determine the color, or if you want to make like lighting, for example, in cycles, you can do that, of course, too. And it uses cycles to calculate the physics stuff that you want to bake. So that's why you can't do it in Eevee. Maybe. Yeah, I would guess that's why. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Looks gonna, you know, let's see if we can blur it out a little bit more. This doesn't work. You know what you should do, James? You should go into the, what is it? Into the Blender subreddit and make a post. Eevee looks better than cycles. I'm actually curious what would happen. And then have the same debate that you had with Lego. Let's see if there's a post like that. Hold on. Let's see. So, Blender Reddit. Blender Reddit. r/learn Blender. Oh. Okay. So if you look for search, Eevee looks better. Nope, that's not the right one. It usually just says like, oh, how can I make Eevee look better? It doesn't really, there are no posts that like, that tell, that it's like, that are discussions. Eevee versus Unreal. Oh, I think that's where Eevee loses heavily. Did you know that there's a an Eevee add-on that applies, what is it? Screen space reflections. So if you look into a window without that add-on, it just looks like a glowing window, or like a glowing like a window plane. But if you have that add-on, if you look at the window, you can see like the entire room lighting up. It's really, really cool. It's pretty limited, but it's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see if this is still visible. Not really. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. And all of those, it's like they only know how to use one. This entire web page is arguing. Okay. Let's adjust the skin texture real quick and then we're good. Can we actually locate textures in the node editor? I don't think we can, right? But what we can do is we can save a new texture. So if you go to all the textures, we can select the body UV alpha, and then we can image save it. Save it for Caitlyn and texture. Call it Caitlyn. Caitlyn body UV alpha. Save this image, and then we're gonna immediately apply it, and then we can change it. Okay, let me open Photoshop. Let's see how long that takes. 2.49. Oh no. I started, I think, at like 2.7 whatever. Right before 2.8 came out. Good time. Because then I could learn Blender before the new big update came, and then I can experience all the goodies that came with it. And I can experience the improvements. Okay. So what we need is the skin texture. There it is. What we need is this one. So all I really want to do here is I want to change one little thing. Let me wait for a minute before I can use Photoshop. Oh, let me actually check what my task manager says. No. Well, RAM is at... No. Photoshop doesn't use that much. Blender actually uses way more. Weird. Have you made an art station yet? I have that on my Docker list, okay? It's coming. From now until probably February. So yeah, never mind. I don't wanna say anything that I'm gonna regret, okay? Okay, let's get this done. So all we really need to do in Photoshop, which is pretty hard to do in Blender, or I don't really know how to do it, is we need to select the right tool for it, which I think is the brightening tool, which is dodge tool. What it does is it brightens areas. What you can see is it brightens it, but the color stays, but that's okay. I just want to brighten it for now. Let's set it to 25. Just do it, you lazy bum. Please. I made myself an executable file, as I said yesterday, I think, to open all my stream programs at once so I can save some time there, okay? I'm trying to get some time back, okay? I will do it soon. Not only ArtStation, okay? Why do you actually, why do you want, why are you interested in me opening up an ArtStation account? what do you get out of that? Photoshop processor dependent program? You mean that it requires a lot of the CPU? What is it? The CPU's dude, today is just yesterday and today is just I'm just baked, okay? Please forgive me. Do you mean that Photoshop is a more like CPU reliant file or executable? You know what we can also do is we can clean up the skin a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making any sense, ladies and gentlemen, of this supposed jury. It does not make sense. If Chewbacca lives on Endor, you must acquit. The defense rests, okay? Is that a quote from somewhere? If that's the case, then I don't know. Okay, so it's brighter. Let's make it, I guess, less red. We can probably do that by changing the... We can go into selective color. Then we move this. We make everything black. And then we use the white value to create a mask. And then we only select this area here to see what it does. And then if we go to the red value and we change the magenta maybe, we can make it more like skin. There you go. You can see the change before and after. Doesn't really do much right now. Let's change it even more. That's what I wanted. Perfect. Let's do the same on this side. There you go. You can see before and after. Ooh, perfect. So still, my question still stands. He needs a good percentage fast SSD. I think it's on an SSD, if I remember. Maybe not. I could check that. I want more people to follow your lazy ass. What do you mean? Okay. Yeah, it can be done with Blender, but it's just easier for me to do it in Photoshop, so I just do it in here. There you go. Okay, let's do some more changes here real quick. What I want to do is I want to use my stamp tool, just so I can remove some big, I guess, like, big bumps, I guess. Let's choose this one here. There you go, get rid of that. We can maybe even remove this blue line there, or this blue vein. I think everything else is okay. I don't want to remove too much, because then it can look kind of fake. Maybe we can remove this red patch up there too. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Let me call this version 2, so we have a difference, or we still have the original. Okay. Let's get back to Blender. And then we're finally done with the skin texture, okay? So, let's look at it. This is pretty red. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, and we see this bump right there. Let's see what it looks like without it. So if we now go into here, and we change the texture. Let's see. Change it to version 2. And there you go. Now it looks a little bit cleaner. Perfect. There's something that cannot be done with texture in Blender, but it's very little. Yeah, you can do a lot in Blender, but sometimes it's just quicker for me to do it in Photoshop. Okay, there you go. Do the lips? I think the lips look slightly different, so I kind of want to change the hue. Just a little bit. Well, maybe not purple. Maybe more. I think it can have slightly more saturation, maybe. Oh. Wait, why is... Oh, we forgot to change the UV. Hold on, let me change the UV real quick. I think there's one change that I forgot when we had to restart. So let me do that real quick. Wait, where's my... Oh. There it is. Okay. Have you seen the 3.0 demo files? Nope. What do they do? Are they cool? Tell me about it. So simple but so complex. Okay. Aren't they there to sort of show you different like things you can do in Blender? Like they're like, you know, they want to show you a certain concept or a certain task. Perfect. Okay. Good example of how fast compositing and texturing can go. Okay. Oh, you mean the new 3.0 file with the, what is it? The asset browser? Is that what you mean? Okay. There you go. So now we have the texturing done. Before, nope, hold on, I forgot one more thing, and then we're done, which is the hue. The hue should change just very, very slightly. It's more reddish than I want it to be. Actually, is it good or not? It can be a little bit darker, I think. Let's just reduce it by a little bit. A tiny, tiny amount, maybe 0.85. Okay. There you go. Far, okay. If you work with textures, it's best to do everything in Blender. Make it easier to do everything in the future. Yeah, maybe. Right now I'm at like, you know, the excuse why I don't use Blender is because it's more comfortable to use Photoshop. So argue with that. Okay. So now that we have the hair, I mean the face done, we have the skin ready to go. There's one more thing we need to do to finish the skin. Hold on. Which is the transition from one to the other. Which actually looks pretty good. There's a slight weird line here. Which is... I don't know if I can fix that. I don't know where it comes from actually. What is that? Tell me. What is it? Why won't you tell me? Nice clothes. You're working hard. Thank you. Oh no, not again. Miss Panzer, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Hope you had a great day. Okay, so we just finished the hairstyle. Dude, okay, today's just not my day, okay? I think I did not only get a haircut, I think they also smoothed my brain. Look at it. Let's look at it again. Okay, so this is the final result. We can add the hair too, just to see it. Let's add eyebrows and eyelashes as well as the hair. There it is. It's not done yet, so keep that in mind. But it's on a pretty good path. I will add some more details there, which shouldn't take too long. But the big glaring, I guess, hole right now is the clothing. So I want to work a little bit more on the clothing before we wrap it up for today, okay? So let's do that now. No need to run between programs, make it easier to me, not to mean productive. You could probably be very productive in Blender, but you know, I'm currently working on being more productive, so that could be another thing that I could look into. You know what? I'm gonna put that into my notepad, okay? Or into my list. Put that in here. What is it? Figure out full character creation workflow in Blender. I've already created full characters in Blender, but you know, or rather faster than rather improve current. Okay. Current with 1 R, perfect. Okay. So I have my goals list. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things that I want to do from now until February. We'll see how many I can finish of those. I could probably do a few of those in one day, but you know, I just need time, which I should have now, because now there's one more day that I need to work this year. So you know, I think I can get most of them done. Oh, there's one that I actually finished. Nice. Okay, yeah, nice. So only 11, not 12. Perfect. Okay. Okay, I don't want to stall anymore. Let's get back to clothing. Let me sit down real quick and then we can begin. Okay. So let's look at the reference. Okay. So that's what we're working with. You can see I cut it right where the other material begins. What I want to finish though is this part. You can see here, this one's pretty refined already, but this one looks kind of choppy. So I kind of want to go into this some more, refine, especially these fold just a little bit so we can finish this one. And then we can go to the leather part right there. Of course, her hands kind of cover most of the top half. I think I have some more references for that though. So I can pull those up if we need them. Actually, I don't think I... Oh, I do. A little bit, I guess. Not fully. But I think I can pull it. Oh, no, I do. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. Perfect, okay. Let's do this part first, though. No more rambling. Let's get into it. Yep. So we need the shader, the modifier, which looks pretty good. We're at 5, which is probably enough for this one. Let's go into sculpting. I actually needed 5 resolutions just to kind of get enough resolution to have this seam line be thin enough, which is kind of crazy, but the faces were pretty low down here, so I guess that's I guess, you know, to be expected to go that high. I wonder when I started with these quick sketches. Hold on, let me see if I can if I can pull that up real quick. I think oh, you know what my original idea was for these quick sketches? So what I did in so what I did in the beginning is I had the idea I needed a thumbnail for every stream on YouTube. On Twitch you don't really need one. So I had the idea, the brilliant idea, to basically use the as the thumbnail, I'll use the quick sketch that I made the day before. Ooh. So basically every day I would make a quick sketch, and then I can take that quick sketch and use it as the thumbnail for the next stream. And then I don't know what I did in that stream, but I think I had a day where I created a I think I had an error, or I had some sort of streaming issue. That's when I used Streamlabs. I think I had a streaming issue where I only streamed for like 10 minutes or so until it crashed. And what I called that stream was, I think I called it a different kind of body painting, because I think I was doing texture painting for one of the characters that I worked on, or for the character that I worked on. And apparently that was one of the most clickable titles that I ever did, you know? So the video has pretty like quite a lot of views for this channel, for the live channel, compared to the retention rate. So retention rate is basically how long some people watch the video once they clicked on it. And it's basically, you can see a graph. It begins, of course, at 100%, and then it basically, for that video, it's like, it goes straight to 0 almost. So it's like, I guess that's like pretty, I don't know, it's pretty funny to me. And the thumbnail was just like a T-Rex 3D model that I used for the quick sketch the day before. So it's not even like some like hot, I don't know, girl or whatever. So it's like, you know, it has nothing to do with with, I don't know, anything body painting related in real life. But apparently people were still interested. Maybe I should use that title for like texture painting. Like a texture painting tutorial. And then introduce Normans, let's say, you know, people that have never used Blender into the, you know, bring them into Blender, you know. A different kind of a different kind of texture paint, I mean a different kind of body painting. And then it's just, hey, have you ever heard of Blender before? And then everybody just immediately clicks off. Yeah, exactly, all the 10-year-olds looking for the dino. That's the retention rate that still like kept watching. Welcome back, Clutch. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday too. Welcome back. Joining at this late hour. Maybe it's still, you know, bright and the sun is shining for you. Let me actually see how many views that video has. Let's see what happens if I just Google hold on. A different kind of body painting. Well, that's not the one that I wanted. I see a lot of naked people, but not my video. ASMR, spit painting you to sleep, full body. Wait, what? Mouth sounds, personal attention. I don't know if I should click on this. Chilling with some retopo. Oh. Good. Yeah. Do you want to see spit painting you to sleep? Do you want to get sleepy? No. Okay, we're not gonna watch that, okay? What is it? Let me see if I can hold on. I can probably just go to dude. There you go. We go to videos and then sort by newest. It should be one of the earliest ones. There it is. Oh, body painting of a different kind. It has 259 views. Let me switch to the analytics. Hold on. No lifing arc age. Oh no. Too deep into the grind to do anything else. Let's see. Live streams. Can I sort it by date? I can. Wait. Wait, what? I didn't even sort it by date. What is going on? I guess I scroll all the way down. 218. Okay, give me a sec, okay? Takes a while. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see. Where's my... There it is. So add 0, 0. So add second 0. It was, of course, 100%. And then, oh, at 120, it was 8%. So 8% of people still watched at 1 minute 20, and then it stayed at like 1% for the rest. Can I get closer into this? I don't think so. Yeah. Pretty funny. There you go. Okay. I stalled too long. Let's finish this. Or let's continue. Yeah, but that was an interesting experience. Especially I was like I was confused why people clicked on it if they see like a dinosaur. I guess it would kind of make sense because it has like this intriguing, like it looks intriguing because you don't know what it is, and you know, maybe, I don't know, kind of weird. People are weird. Oh, I actually tested something. So I tested the cloth brush. I don't think it works that well here. I wanted to use the pinch setting, pinch perpendicular, but it looks pretty bad. So like this. What I don't like is these secondary bumps that get created. Also, I don't really like the structure that it, like what it looks like. I don't really know. I don't think it looks that good. See, like that. I don't know. That looks too strong. Of course, you can probably, you know, fine tune this some more, but I don't want to do that. If you push stuff, let's see what that looks like. That does nothing. Well, oh, of course. Hold on. It is grab, right? There it is. Yeah, no, I don't know. The cloth brush is just absolute garbage. I don't like it. I think it has its use cases, especially for like pillows or whatever, like smaller folds, but overall it's pretty useless for what it could be, you know. But I guess that's not really what it's supposed to be. It's not really supposed to replace like cloth simulation. It's only really there for you to have like this very, very small sort of semi-realistic cloth simulation in the sculpt mode to help you with cloth sculpting, not really to give you the full cloth simulation experience. So it's not really, you know, it's not really supposed to do that. If they wanted to do that, they should first create a good cloth simulation overall. That might be a good idea. Right now it's pretty bad how slow it is. Okay, yeah, so I don't want to work on this for too long anymore, so I just want to go through here. First of all, clean up the surfaces so it looks less bumpy. Then I also want to, you know, fine tune or at least detail out the folds a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's go in here and just fine tune the one that we already have. Maybe add a few more here and there, and then we're pretty much done with this one. I don't know, it doesn't look like exactly how I want it to look, but I guess that's just how it is. Maybe I'm just bad at sculpting. Maybe that's it. If you don't know the answer, then it's always you. You ever have questions that you can't answer? It's you. You just don't want to accept it. Why did Jesus get crucified? It's you. Why did... Okay, no, that's maybe a little bit too far. I don't want to go there. Why did he not stay? Why did he not keep painting? It's you. Why did he switch from art to politics? It might be you, you know? Although there's probably an answer for that, you know? So that's not really a question that you can't answer. That actually looks pretty cool. The one problem that I have with this is that it's too strong even now. So I guess just smoothing it a little bit more works. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. You're just good at being a furry? No, I'm not. I don't even know what that is, okay? To be honest with me, okay? Be 100% honest with me. If there was a furry convention close to you, wouldn't you be curious? Wouldn't you be curious? And you're just gonna peek in there and see what happens. Or not see what happens, but peek in there and see what, you know, what you can find. We talked about that actually before. The the costumes sometimes are actually pretty creative. You know, oftentimes you just see like especially on the internet, you just see the standard like wolves or whatever, and like maybe even poorly made. I don't want to, you know, I have no idea how you create them, but still, you know. But there are actually some interesting animals. They don't just choose like normal like mainstream animals. Some people actually choose like, I don't know, like I don't know, hippo, elephants, or you know, something more exotic. Which I think sometimes looks pretty cool or pretty cute. Like having one of them that we talked about was the what was it? The otter. Having like there was like a couple that dressed up as two otters, two American otters, which looked pretty cool. My man got his hair done today. Exactly. I'm glad you noticed. Welcome back, Palladium. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Hope you're excited for the weekend. Maybe you have big plans. Maybe you don't. That's also good sometimes, you know, not having big plans. The worst is when you have big plans, but then there's something that gets in the way. That's the worst. I hope you don't have that. I would totally go for he's got the best drugs and orgies. Okay. I mean, that's not what I meant, but I guess you could go for that too. I would go more for the, you know, artistry of creating their what is it? Their costumes. Oh. A fellow South European, I think. Welcome. Fortunately, I cannot understand what you're saying. But welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. If you can understand me. Yeah, the hair is still not done. I usually had like you can see how it sort of moves to the right. It's actually supposed to move like back. I need to straighten it more. I need to style it in that way. We talked about that yesterday. You know how you can, I guess, shape hair by basically. Hold on. Oh, that's not what I wanted. By basically, please stop. Oh, by moving it in a certain direction every day, which shifts the different layers of skin. And because the hair particle is somewhere on a lower level of, or on a lower layer, because you shift the layers, you can change the rotation of the hair. That's at least what I heard or what I read on Google. You know, I might be wrong. You can find a lot of info on Google. That's not right. So I might be wrong, but it sounded pretty convincing. You can understand me? Nice. Yeah, hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Wait, did you join before and then we talked through or you talked through Google Translate? Is that you? Maybe. Welcome back if that's the case. Okay, let's fine-tune this, and I think then we're pretty much good. I hope I have symmetry enabled. I do. Yeah. No? Okay, well then it was a different person. Did you, you know, so, you know, looking at the, so I have two, I guess, experiences, or two, let's say, not experiences, but like, I guess, two sources of information about furry conventions. One of them is by Channel 5, where they went to one and they interviewed people there. The other one is from the internet historian. He made one about, I think, Furfest, I think it's called. That one didn't turn out that great. So if you want to have two different experiences, or two different, let's say, different furry events, you can watch both. You know, they're pretty entertaining, pretty interesting. The second one is, or you know, the one from the internet historian is maybe a little bit more, you could say, not graphic, but more, it includes more fluids, let's say, okay? But if that interests you, you know what you need to do. Rain first, exactly. I think what sums up that event is one tweet. I think it was like, it's okay, I don't care what you do in your, I don't care what you do in private, but please don't wear your diapers openly. Especially if you've already, you know, if they're already used. I think that's the tweet that sums up that event the best. I don't think we need to talk more about that one. And then we have the other one. I don't know what the other one was though. The other one looked bigger. Rainforest looked pretty small. Maybe they evolved Rainforest into this one, into that convention. Maybe it's what rhymes or what? I was looking for a name, but I can't really come up with anything. My creativity is spent today. Okay. We weren't really that creative today, but still. Okay. So, I think that looks pretty good. We should still have the lower part too, which is this one. There you go. So let's work with this a little bit. You can see we don't really see much here. You can see that you can't see anything. So let's switch to a different reference, which is right here in my references. So the one that I'm looking for is this one. So in this one you can see that she has this middle part with more buttons. Oh, she actually has a button down here too. I can add that later, I guess. And then she has these straps on the side. So I think I'm going to do the same that I've done for Vi. For Vi, she also has like 2 layers somewhere around there. I basically have I've layered it with 2 layers. So there's one that is this layer here, this sort of darker leather, or I guess, I don't know what that is. This darker part here. And then there's another layer on top, which is this part here. And then we have the straps on top of that. I think that's how I want to do it. So I'm going to create the lower layer. Then I'm going to duplicate it. Duplicate the faces that include the second layer. And then I'm going to move them a little bit higher. And because we use solidify, they will basically lie on top of each other. That's the idea. Okay. Let's see if I think that's quite far away from where we need to go. Let's scale it in a little bit. Actually, let's go into sculpting. and reel it in. There you go. I'm not really bothered too much about clipping right now. We can change that in the next layer. As long as it looks, yeah, that looks pretty good. Same here. Oh, here, this one might actually be a pretty good example of when you can use the inflate brush. If you, for example, Alt S is basically inflation. It scales the vertices that you affect by moving them outwards or inwards according to their normal. That's basically what you do in Alt S2 or inflation. So inflation is basically Alt S. If you have some areas that could be Alt S, I guess you could say, alternatively scaled, and other areas that can't, for example this here, you can also scale, of course. But what you can also do is you can just use the inflate brush, which is this one. And then if you push Ctrl, you can very slowly bring them inwards. So maybe here, this looks quite far away. So if we just go in here, increase the strength, then we do this, you can see we can bring it closer to the surface. And then if we press non-Ctrl, we can bring it back out. There you go. Inflate is different than the clay strips brush, because the clay strips brush applies a vector according to the average normal of the vertices that are affected. Let me actually make a new file here. Version 1C. Okay. That looks pretty good. One thing that I want to pay attention to though is I want to make sure that the faces are properly set up to be able to be used for the second layer too. What I mean by that is basically I just want to make sure that these edges here are aligned with what we can see here. We can't really see what's down there. I think I have another reference where we can see that. Hold on. Oh, we could maybe use this one for it. Yeah, it just goes even lower down. Okay. So it actually goes all the way to the end, which means that we can basically just use this edge to separate the two. Maybe we should move this edge further over there, or we could also just add another one and then move this one further into the middle. So we have a face that is wider, but we have more geometry to kind of support the structure that we need. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. It might be a little bit shorter actually than the one in Arcane. We don't really see the lower half though, so I don't really need to, we don't really need to care about it too much. Or at least the lower half. Okay, perfect. So let's get into it. Let me apply the mirror. Let me apply, no, solidify not. We're not going to apply solidify, but we're going to use multi-resolution. Let's begin. So, first of all, subdivide. There you go. Next up, we need to sharpen edges, which is this one, for example. So this one stays sharp. We can do the same up here. Nope, not these ones, of course. But this one. So now we have a sharp edge right there. Perfect. We need to do the same down here. There you go. And I think that's all that we need to change. Perfect. Oh, we need to do the same on this side. Perfect. Okay. Now we can go into sculpting and at least sort of, you know, create the shape that we need. It's pretty close to what we need, but we can, you know, fine tune it a little bit. For example, over here, you can see we're off the mark. I guess we can just use the grab brush to push it out. There you go. No big changes needed. Usually we need to go to like 2 or 3 subdivisions to do like the big detailed, like, you know, to add some detail. Okay. You know what? I think we should add this one too. We should combine them. Okay, let's do that again. Let's combine these 2 vertices. I think they should be together too. Yeah. Looking at this one here, you can see there, this middle piece here is quite long. I think this is long enough now. It was too short before. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Wait, do I have a symmetry disabled? Oh no. Okay. Well, that was actually good that we restarted. Okay. Do this here. And there you go. Okay. That still looks pretty good. Let's go into the next resolution. Before we do that, actually, let me pull this out just a little bit like that. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next resolution. We can even stay in sculpt mode. There you go. And then we can focus on, or we can begin the detailing. So what you can see here in this one is this line to separate the pieces. I want to, actually no, I think I want to add that later because we can't really see it. Oh, so that's probably a good reason to now go out of here and then we can select the pieces that need to be, or that we're going to copy for the second layer. So we're going to select all of those now. Probably, is it going all the way around? I don't know. No, it's not. Well, it sort of is. It's split here in the middle, but we're going to select it anyway. So we go all the way around. Why do I do it this way? I don't know. Please don't ask. There you go. We duplicate it, Shift D. P to separate by selection. P for separation, of course, if you didn't know. And then we select the new the new object, and then we press A to select everything, Alt S to scale it outwards so it's above the other one. There you go. And now we have a second layer, which we of course need to customize by doing this, by sharpening the edges basically. One more, and then we have the second layer. We need the second layer because then we can see where we need to sculpt some seam lines. Okay. Now we can go into this one and we can begin detailing. One thing I'm actually curious about is, can I now push this in? Oh, I can push this in. Cool. So I can begin adding the seam line here. I don't want to go, I don't want to do it too early because that can make the seam line look very, very big. But we can probably begin here because this seam line seems to be pretty big. So we just push it down a little bit to create the sort of transition from one to the other. Okay, let's go to the next subdivision level. I think now we can sort of begin adding the seam line here. It's still pretty low res. I don't want to overdo it. But we can at least, you know, see this now. Let's detail this one too. Maybe we can sharpen the edge here. A little bit. Good thing is if your topology is set up in a good way, your topology will support your seams, which it does right here. It perfectly follows with how we want to set up these seam lines. There you go. I'm not going to add those buttons yet. I want to focus on the rest first. Or the seam lines. I said seam lines way too much in the last 2 minutes. The good thing is, because we use multi-resolution, we can add the buttons later and we are not, like, we're not losing, or we still have the advantage of switching between resolution levels. So we can begin with a very low res folds and then add more and more detail to them, or more and more resolution, I guess you could say, until it looks good. The reason you should begin, or I begin at least, I think you should begin with low resolution folds is because they sort of they help you first, I guess, like you can sketch them out first without that much resolution, which lets you, I guess, affect more, I guess, like affect more surface, and it also lets you then, I guess, it's easier to fix them if you make a mistake that way. If you immediately go into 5 subdivision levels, for example, it's harder to do like big changes because you need to affect more vertices, which can then lead to like small bumps that are harder to remove. If you begin with a very low res sculpt, it's easy to fix that stuff. Subdivision level 5 might be enough. There you go. Do the same here. I don't think we need more than 5. We have quite a lot of faces here for this piece. And then especially if we switch to smooth view or smooth shading, we should be able to, we should have enough geometry. Of course, the more geometry you have, the sharper smooth shading looks. So we need to get to a certain level, but at a certain level, you know, you have enough. There you go. Okay, so this marks the beginning of that piece. This is actually not too hard. All that I need to do now is basically just sort of add more detail to the middle piece here, and then the side pieces just look like sort of leather patches, or leather, not plates, but like big leather pieces which don't have like that many folds. So they're basically just, you know, I guess, you know, smooth geometry. And then the last piece would be up here. Oh, and then of course the sleeve too. There are a few more things that I need to add, but you know, shouldn't take too long. So that's where we're gonna leave it. So what we have now is this. We now have the shading, the skin shading. We have part of the clothing, we have the hair almost done. So all that's missing is to finish all those pieces. add some shading to the clothing, and then I can, yeah, finish it. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for joining. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe you knew everything I said, maybe you think I talked about, or I said absolute garbage, which is probably true, but you know, nobody said something, so maybe not. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for chatting, or just being here. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. I wish you a good weekend, and maybe I'll see you next time. Until then,